All right, everyone. We'll slowly start the event, so feel free to come and grab some seats. Everyone, hello, 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 hello. We'll start the event soon, so please have your seats. There's plenty of room here. There's also some room there on my left and my right as well. So feel free to sit wherever you want. Those that are back there standing, I mean, there's plenty of room here, so feel free to come over here and take a seat. Those at the back, yeah, there's more seating here on the front. I'm sorry? All right. Yeah, plenty of seating here, so feel free to sit wherever you want. You can sit comfortably there too, so. All right. How are you guys doing? How's your new year and holidays been? Awesome. I think people are a little less enthusiastic today, because of the cold, maybe. So yeah, we'll try to keep the conversations going on with some good pitches and things like that today. So maybe that'll warm up things, and then it'll all be more comfortable later. So I'm also waiting for my co-host to be coming in shortly. So I'll introduce her as well. I think we can get started. It's 6:18 now, and the live stream has also started. So welcome everyone to the Austin Startup Meetup. And before we start, we'll just take a quick show of hands. Who's here for the first time in this building? All right. And who's new to Austin? Oh, there's a few people here. Welcome to Austin. Right in the middle of the cold weather. So, who's already running their startups? Quite a few people. Awesome. And who's thinking of launching a product or their new startup this year? Awesome. All right. Thank you. And I think, are there any investors here in the group today? No? Just the founders? Okay. And let's see. Are there any? We'll take a quick, stock of like the backgrounds here. So any people from sales background? Sales? All right. So there's a few. Okay. Any from engineering background? Product engineering? Anything? All right. Thank you. Marketing? Quite a few. Awesome. And HR? That's good. Just this one. Awesome. And let's see. What else do we want usually? I think those are the big ones in the startup thing, right? So we'll see. One thing we'll go and do later in the event is we'll go around the room and see who's hiring, who's looking for partners, to build their startups, and who's looking for expert help and things like that. And so you can find the right people here. You probably may have seen some people raise hands that you may want to talk to later, but we'll go through that as well. With that said, my name is Suman Poluri. I've been hosting this event for the last 7 years or 8 years now, with 25 rolling in. So it's been a wonderful experience for me hosting all the great people that come here to the event, share their experiences, share their the things that they do, what they're building, and I've also seen some people come here and also go on to build great companies as well. So that's basically the reason why I do this meetup, is to bring together all the great people in the communities to come together and share their experiences, their background, their expertise, and what they're learning from each other, and also, you know, what they're doing good at, and also what they're failing to do well. So that way, people can come, you know, share you know, their tips and tricks to help you build great startups, and also for you to help them to build great startups. So ultimately, we all want to see great companies come out of you know, Austin or wherever we are, right? So, and that comes through, you know, sharing the knowledge, sharing the experience, and helping each other and learning from each other. So that's what we strive to do here. So with that said, we have a lot of events, you know, throughout the year. Sometimes we do have speaker sessions. Sometimes we have, you know, sessions like this where we do, you know, lightning pitches and networking and things like that. And sometimes we also have showcase events. And speaking about showcase event, in March, just before South by Southwest starts, 1 week before that, we have a startup, pre-South by Southwest startup showcase that's coming in, I think March 3rd this year. So, you know, I usually invite people from the group. I mean, there's about 6,500 members in the group to see if you want to, you know, if you all have a startup, you want to showcase that to the larger audience that comes to Austin during South by Southwest. So we take this whole room and give some 10, 15 startups some tables and things like that, so they can show their wares to the people that come in. So keep an eye on that, eye out for the email that I'll be sending around, I think, second half of this month about you know, that event, and also one other reminder in February to collect people that are interested in showcasing their startups. So. All right, so before we go to the main section of the event, I'll go through a few minor things. Capital Factory first, that's where we are. And for those that are new to Capital Factory has been the center of innovation in Austin for a long, long time. And there's a lot of things that Capital Factory offers. They have a membership program through which they have you know, mentorship and advisors and all those you know, great people available. They have a co-working space you know, in the same building in various floors that you can you know, take advantage of. There's also a venture funding arm for Capital Factory for people that are interested in you know, getting some you know, funding and things like that too. So they offer a lot. And they also send out a newsletter. So if you all have any events that you want to go to, or know more about the things that are happening in the Austin ecosystem, do subscribe to that Austin Tech Live newsletter. And they have you know, a great set of things that they share every week. And you can also go to Austin Tech Live channel on YouTube, where they post all the events, all the live sessions that they record on their channel. And you know, there's probably thousands of events that happen during the year at Capital Factory, right where we are, and they have like multiple floors where they have these events. So all those events that are live streamed are put on their Austin Tech Live YouTube channel as well. So if you need to you know, find out more about Capital Factory, I mean, there's their website, capitalfactory.com, or you can also talk to Eli, that was at the front desk a little bit earlier, and was helping you know, set up this event. So he can guide you to the right people at Capital Factory to you know, to know more about like what they offer and what it can do for you. All right. So with that said, you know, there's a couple of other sponsors for today's event. Founder Dash. Founder Dash is a platform that's trying to help founders do all the things that they want to do, from ideation to validation to you know, to getting like the market as quickly as possible. So they're building a set of tools, you know, powered by AI, because that's what everyone does these days. So so check out more at founderdash.com. And we're also incredibly thankful to JetBrains for offering a free license to one of their products, any product of your choice, and we'll be raffling that free license, you know, at every event. So today is also going to be another raffle. So we'll do that in the middle of the session when everyone is attentive. All right. So with that said, I also want to introduce my co-host, Nabiha. Awesome. Thank you, Nabiha. And all right, so I'll start with a couple of quick intros. Again, all of that I'm going to cover here. I'm not going to do a detailed walkthrough of all these things in the slides, but all these slides are also available in the AustinStartupMeetup.com blog post for January 2025. There's also links to the event details, some upcoming events, upcoming deadlines, and other news of interest to startups and investments, launches, and all those things that happen in Austin or in this ecosystem, as well as the link to the slides for this event as well there. So if anyone wants to get to the event slides, you can just go to the AustinStartupMeetup.com January 2025's blog post and just get the slides there. So you don't need to worry about not having the details in the slides after the event. Just a quick, upcoming deadlines. I know people here are trying to, start their own, startups this year, or people that have already been working on their own products and have their startup launched in 24 that want to accelerate their things. There's a bunch of accelerators and incubators that have upcoming deadlines as well as programs that are starting in 2025. And then a few upcoming events, South by Southwest being the biggest one. It starts in March. It goes from March 7th to 15th. And there's a few other events here in this month. For those that know what Startup Grind is, they're doing a Startup Grind Global Pitch event. And to qualify for that Global Pitch event, the qualification pitch happens in the next 4 days in your local chapter. So if you're in Austin, you can go to your local Startup Grind Austin chapter and do your pitch. Or if you're in Dallas, do the same there. Those pitches end on Jan 10th. And after that, people that have pitched will be selected for the final pitch for the global pitch event. So only 4 days left. So those that want to do those pitches, check out your local chapter of Startup Grind. And like all major startup ecosystems, there's quite a few accelerators and incubators here in Austin as well. Some of them equity free, some of them are regular equity-based accelerator programs. You can check more about those individually Googling them, or there's also a lot more than what I listed here. So feel free to search more about those. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop us an email or a note through LinkedIn or any other channel. Likewise, there's also some great VCs and angels and syndicates as well. Some of them, very well known and very active here in the Austin ecosystem, and some of them are also active throughout the country, not just in the Austin ecosystem. So do check out, some of those, and some of these venture firms and angels also have office hours and network events. So do keep an eye out on those for any events that you may want to go to. A few other resources I've listed here. A lot of these resources, you can easily find, online as well. But some things of note for founders and startups that are new to Austin that want to network here. And then also there's a couple of newsletters that I would recommend people sign up to, especially the Texas Squared newsletter and the Austin Startup Digest. Those two newsletters I would highly recommend to subscribe to get a good feel of all the things that are happening in these in the Austin and the whole of Texas ecosystem. Beyond that, I mean, there's a few Facebook groups and other things too. All right, and I know building startups is hard. A lot of people will be, starting out as 1 or 2-person teams, burning the midnight oil and trying to do a lot more things than you have resources for. So if you all have any, products or apps or any services that you're launching and want, people to spread the word or help test them or also, give some feedback and things like that, just drop us a line and we'll probably share it with the group. And there could be, people in the group that can, check out your products or services or apps and give you some feedback. All right. And again, we meet the first Monday of every month. So, that'll be Feb 3rd next month. And if you have any specific topic or area of, business that you want to be discussed here, let us know and we can bring in some speakers that can address those topics. All right? All right. So with that said, as I said, I mean, all the information in these slides will be available online. It's already linked to the blog post, so y'all can even get to that anytime. So with that said, I mean, there's also more information beyond that for the ecosystem, the state of the ecosystem and things like that too. So you can find that all in these slides. With that said, who's ready for some pitches? All right. Awesome. So there's quite a few people here, and I know there's a lot of people that also raise their hands when I ask for like people that are wanting to, that have their startups or wanting to launch their startups, right? So one thing I would say is for people that have already launched their startups, you all probably have gone through the grind of like, pitching at various places and even talking about your product, multiple times to multiple people. But for people that are yet to launch their startup or have an idea, I would say don't feel shy. I mean, we're a group of friendly people. We won't, we're not mean here. So just share your idea. We want you to come out of your comfort zone and share the idea. Treat it as like an informal pitch to a group of friends, so you can get some feedback, some exposure about what you're doing, and maybe some great ideas from the team here. From the people here, and maybe you'll also find some people you can partner with, right? So don't feel shy. Just come here and share your ideas and things like that. So what we'll do is like we'll sweep the room from my right to left, and then we'll pick like maybe 3 each in each round, and then we'll again come back and then pick the rest of them like that. Okay. So we'll start from here. Does anyone want to pitch? Yes, sir. And then we'll go to you.
All right, what's going on, everybody? I moved to Austin, Texas, literally yesterday, from Boston. So I'm pretty fired up to be here. I'll give you guys a quick little pitch about the old business here. But so like I mentioned, I'm from Boston. I went to Boston College, and I went to school during COVID. So obviously, everyone here experienced COVID in a different way. Whether that be through not being able to see your friends, not being able to go out to dinner, not being able to do what you really want to do, right? And that's hanging out with people. You see Instagram, you see all these different apps and what they do. You want to emulate people. You want to really just kind of live that life. What we do is we created an app that helps you try to do that, but on your own. And you don't feel judged. You don't feel kind of the social anxiety that comes with it, right? So what we did is we created a platform that helps you find, make, and share social plans wherever you are, right? So I moved to Austin from Boston yesterday. I haven't pitched here yet. Yesterday, right? Everything's new. But one thing that isn't new is everywhere we go, people are looking for stuff to do. I'm a human case study for this business now. I just moved across the country. I don't know anybody. I don't know what's going on. I found plans the last night I was here, right? I found somewhere to go, get connections with people. And that's what this app is about. We wanted to create something that really brought people together in the physical sense, because that's what social media is for. So that's what we wanted to do. And with this app, how do we market it? How do we get it out and about? There's Eventbrite, there's Partiful, there's all these other apps, right? But there's no app that does it spontaneously. Because I know for me, I have never made a plan with my friends farther than a week out unless we had to buy tickets to it, right? There's so many more things going on in this world that don't require tickets. So find them, right? Find them on a platform like this. You can join a community of upwards of 5,000 users within our first 3 months. And one very exciting thing about this fact and this app itself is we have spent $0 to make this happen. How? Because people want to find plans, right? And we want you guys to find plans as well. And I'll keep it quick on the backside of this. Obviously not super kind of touched up on that. But what we want to do is we want to help you guys find plans. We want you to find friends. We want you to find a community. Because without that, what's the point of being here, right? You guys all found this probably through Meetup, through a different email, but not everyone has access to that, right? Not everyone signed up to these lists, and not enough people feel confident about going out and doing so. So what we did is we created an app to help you do that. Whether you want to go drink wine or drink beer with your 2 friends, or you want to go to Austin City Limits and see the biggest show, you can do all of that, and you can organize it in a way that is text-based. Everybody's got friends that they have that don't respond to texts. Hey, what are you doing tonight? Never get a response. Next morning, yo, what's up, dog? Like, how are you doing? No, that never works out. So what we did is we created something permanent for people to see and see like, oh, I'm going to my buddy's house tonight, right? And I have a messenger that gets created with it. You can see different sites of invites and things that are going on around you. Or if you're going on vacation, put that location in, because guess what? It's nationwide now because we're here. We're in the absolute best place to do so. This is a pretty sweet way to kind of come into Austin, to be 100% honest. I started at the Capital Factory today. Came here about 2 months ago. Did stand up to pitch the app because I did not know how to graphic design. And now we have 5,000 people looking for plans. So I would really appreciate if everybody could download the Venue app on your iPhone, on your Google phone, whatever kind of device you got. It's Venue, spelled V-E-N-U. And please, try to break it. Try to roast it. Roast me. Follow us on Instagram. Make fun of it. Because all we're trying to do is make it easier for you guys to find, make, and share plans. That is all. Oh, yeah? Any questions?
What are the plans this week in Austin?
All right, tomorrow we got Joe DeRosa and friends at the Comedy Mothership. Also, watch party at Victory Lap ATX for UT versus Ohio State on Friday. Everybody get there. But we got a lot of stuff going on. And the way you can find out what's going on is going on to the apps. No, but there's a lot of good stuff going on, specifically in the comedy scene, obviously right around here. But one thing you guys are going to find out is you're going to see a lot of stuff with your friends that aren't these big events. It's not going to be giant concert, giant DJ. It's, I want to go hang out with my 3 buddies that I work with that don't really know each other. I don't want to throw them in a text group. Send them all a plan. Everybody's there. We can all communicate through the app. It's finding little things like that. So don't worry about big events. Think about it small and then scale out. That's what we do. And that's what I'm here. I'll be building it out. I promise you, every single one of you will see me at some point at some venue saying, do you guys know what you're doing? How many of you guys know what you're doing this weekend? Weird, it's only 4 people, but there's so many people who don't know what they're doing. And guess where you can find out what to do? On the Venue app. So that's what we want to do. We want to help people like you guys who don't know what's going on. I know more about what's going on in Boston and Austin, Texas than anyone on the planet. If you ask me what I'm doing this weekend, I will not find out until Friday at 4, or I'm going to the Victory Lap watch party. Thanks for hosting. Also, feel free to come out, guys. It's going to be a great time. But on the backside of that, it's really just about what's going on the day of, what people post up, what's spontaneous, what can you do. That's what we're really focused on. And I still got to get a little bit of the lay of the land of Texas, so still going to learn that a bit. Cool. Oh. Cool. What's up?
A lot of people have their text group, WhatsApp group, and it kind of works. So they will have kind of some sort of inertia to actually move to another app. How do you plan to tackle that?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that we faced immediately. And then I realized, okay, yeah, you have some people who do that, some people who don't. But guess what? If there is something that makes that process 1% easier, they're switching. Inertia this, kind of just going against different forces, what we try to do is we want to be a solution. We don't throw it in your face. We're not like, this is the way to solve it. It's no, this is the easiest way to find plans with your friends, right? We got a new version of the app coming out next week that kind of solves that problem that you're looking for. We have messages that get created and chats that get created for every plan that gets created. So no matter what, whether you know the people, whether you don't, if they join the plan, if they're going to the concert, good, you can see. And if you see someone you really liked at the concert or the show, guess what? You can follow up with them after, right? The whole point is we want to build community. And the way to do so, it may not be removing people from text messages, but guess what? You know, you can send within a text message a link to the plan because a website gets created for every plan because not everyone wants to download it, right? And that's kind of how we face that inertia is we allowed people to have access to public website links that get created for each plan. And then people can book through there. You can sign up. You don't necessarily have to have the app. But yeah, that's kind of how we've done it thus far. Cool.
And then that's the Venu app, right? VENU on the app stores. So one thing I also want to remind everyone is that there's a lot of people going to come here and share what they're working on, the apps or websites or products or services. So when you hear about those, I would encourage you all to take a look at that website or app. I would also encourage you to maybe also download those apps or sign up to those websites and just give it a try. If you don't like it, you don't like it. You don't need to write a big review somewhere. You can just come and talk to the founder and say, hey, I didn't like it because X, Y, Z, right? The founder can then start working on some of those feedback and improve their products or services. If you like it, go and share that news or that app or product or service with your friends, family, and your professional network, so they can get more visibility, and that's what helps the founders, right? So we all again grow when we share things. So keep that in mind. And so that's Venue app. And before I go to the next person, I also want to remind you that for those that park their cars in the garage, there's the parking validation ticket over there on that table. So do feel free to take that parking validation ticket when you go out, okay? All right, so who's the next one? Yes, sir.
Present the app?
Yeah, so sure.
Yeah. Thank you. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, I can hear y'all. Great. Hello, I'm Arthur, founder and CEO of forkedit.com, and I have a problem. When I go to look for recipes, I am caught drowning in a sea of search-optimized clutter and ads, and I think there is a better way. And so that's why I built Forkedit, or Forked It. The way this works is it's two sides of a marketplace to monetize this without ads. The first way you can use this is you can create a new recipe or a new import. And this is for anybody that has a recipe or wants to share that recipe for their friends or wants to see what other people think about that recipe. They go over here. They fill out this little form here. Let's say we're trying to make a chocolate cake recipe today. And they post that. They can then manage that in their editing station and publish that out to the web. And whenever someone likes that recipe, they can go to their feed. They can order that recipe, and the user will get a cut of the funds. And in this way, we can solve the monetization structure of a influencer because the influencer doesn't want to have to deal with complicated formulas on the social media side of things. We can eliminate the ads and clutter for the end user, as well as eliminate the tedious process of clicking through Instacart or Uber Eats to find all of your groceries. And on top of that, we can better monetize the blogs for food bloggers. And up the revenue of grocery delivery services. The way this works is I'm about to be launching a Kickstarter. I'm going to do two things. One's going to be licenses at $20. Those will be coming out in a few months. And after we sell enough of those to where we hit the pod scale limit, which is just a technical limit, we're going to release a free tier. And this is going to be completely free for anyone to use. You can collaborate on any recipes you want, and it's going to act almost as if it is a ad-free social network. Thank you. Oh, any questions?
There's one question here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you, so how do you make money? Is it through like a subscription, like they pay to use the platform eventually, or is it?
Yeah, so the way this works is every time anyone orders something through the platform, we act as an advertiser for the grocery delivery service. So we get a cut. Yes.
I just want to say I love the design.
Thank you.
It's very like GitHub inspired, I'm guessing.
Yeah, in fact, the back end is actually a self-hosted version of an open source project called Git. So you can actually take these recipes and you can git clone them, and you can edit one of these recipes in Visual Studio Code. Any other questions? Do I have an ask? I'm trying to sell 100,000 licenses at $20 a piece, so that's $2 million. Yeah.
Are you thinking of seeding it with recipes online?
I'm thinking of seeding it by talking to influencers in person and asking them if they want free promotion of their content while we talk to them about affiliate marketing for this platform through the license sale down the line.
Hey, just to let you go quick, so you go to a restaurant and you see something you really like. Can you do it this way? Put a picture on it and you get a recipe? Or?
So the restaurant can publish their cookbook on here, and they can get a continuous revenue stream, which is better than the traditional model where you only have to order the cookbook from the recipe once. And furthermore, you don't have to be in physical location, so the logistics of this is much simpler. Yeah. Oh.
Are you already linked up with grocery delivery services to then be able to monetize that content?
We're in conversations. We have not closed anything yet. Cool.
One more here. Okay, so we'll go to this. We'll start with him, and then we'll come here, and then we'll go to that. Yes, sir.
And it's been a minute since I got up on a stage with a microphone. I'm going to do the same thing, follow suit. I'm going to upload here the website because it looks fancier than I do. Let's see here. Two hands work better than one. And that way you guys can have a visual of what we do. My name is Jay Kreiner with Gale Project Technologies. I'm the COO and the founder, though. What Gale Project is an innovation lab. What I mean by that is I finally created a house for my crazy ideas. The main one being is everybody knows about drones and how they work, right? I found a problem out there. I live in New Braunfels, so I kind of drove up here for this tonight, that we live along rivers and parks and vast remote areas. Let's just say something floods or something happens. How do first responders get out to that quickly and efficiently? That is the problem. The solution, we would say, is drones, right? Drones can get over there pretty quickly, figure it out, analyze, get back the information, data, GPS, the whole source. The problem would be is, how do those drones get there if it's remote? So with Gale, is what we named the system, is the first, we got the IP for it, so it's the first modular housing unit that can be remotely stationed and accessed from anywhere in the world and can deploy a drone from it on a pre-programmed path or a prompt to identify what it's looking for, such as a life form, a missing person, whatever information we give it. That is cutting down all response times. It's cutting down efficiency, the use of resources, man hours, man time, equipment. It cuts that all down by like 90% because we didn't have to get a truck to drive out there to find it, or to deploy a drone from a police vehicle, or who's got the drone at that time. This cut out all of that. The difference in this one was there's drone-in-a-box platforms out there already, but someone has to take that box somewhere. With this, we designed it to incorporate in today's infrastructure. It's designed to go on top of a utility pole. Power source, redundancy, it's all there, communications. Now you created what you see as Starlink, but down on Earth. One extra feature on top of that is the AI feature. Of course, we gotta add that in, it's AI. But what the system does is it actually is a module that collects information of its surroundings. We can do then pedestrian traffic, we can do recognition, we can do vehicle analysis, speed. There's a lot of information in the background of that that's creating all that data. That has its own kind of interest to other folks that we wanna keep in-house and not to the World Wide Web to monetize off of. This is something that we feel like can contribute to the environmental sectors, defense, public safety, and to top it all off, we've constructed it through design to utilize in space through the different type of materials. But in a whole scale, we created a drone that's modular, that's gonna be infrastructured to be, honestly, we see the cameras everywhere, right? TxDOT has them, HEB has them. We're doing the same thing, but adding more features to that, so someone else who really needs it can utilize it for their benefit to save more lives. And that's Gale. Thank you. All right, questions. I know there's got to be something. Yes? How much for one? Okay, that's going to be the tough part because material costs are all different, right? But we're targeting $5,000 for the basic one. We are pre-seed right now, which means we have no investors, no debt, no nothing. But what we secured is the IP, so it's got the background value of it. Now we're trying to find out where is it first going to be introduced into a sector. Just last week, I met with New Braunfels Fire Department. We sat down and I said, here's what I'm doing. I just want your feedback. And I wasn't trying to sell them at all. At the end of the conversation, they were like, how many can we get? When can we get here? When are we going to do this? When can we be the pilot program for it? That was a huge step for me to be like, well, shit, I don't know how much this cost. You know, like, that's where we're trying to get to next, is the material cost. The nice thing is technology does get cheaper like a TV, right? So like, NVIDIA's new supercomputer comes out and it's smaller and it's cheaper. Great, slap it in there. Drones, I didn't design the drone, nor are we. We're gonna integrate what drones are already out there. So partnerships will start to bring down all of those costs as well.
Have you selected a drone manufacturer?
No. The partnership is a new thing for me. I'm gonna be straightforward. A lot of this came at me and over the last year working on it, and it got over my head quickly because I was one person. And now it's like, okay, let's partner with the experts in that industry. There are solar capabilities integrated into this. And that's where I want to be like, hey, let's get with the solar manufacturer. Let's get with the UAV. Let's get with the computer processing, cameras, IR, sensors. I mean, there's a whole slew of stuff that already exists. We're just going to put it all into one unit. Hopefully that solves it in a long answer. Yeah. Sorry. All right, anybody else, please? Yes, sir. Yeah. The housing system itself, this is going to be a two-part question, I feel like. Yeah. There's going to be a self-sufficient HVAC system for humidity, environmental conditions. As you can imagine, the lithium battery is what we're using currently, if it's going to be remotely deployed and using solar to collect that energy. So it's going to have a self-management system for that. Now, the first part of the question, how does the drone fly? One, we can have a pre-programmed prompt, meaning there's a seismic activity, Yellowstone National Park, one of these is nearby. It senses something it needs to investigate. It can self-deploy itself. Go out, take the aerial photos, topography, thermal, come back, and it's live feeding it directly back to the unit, which, again, is then linked back to a main computer. Say like a main person at a desk. Now, the way we designed it is for someone who can override it and say, the police are looking for somebody, it's right here, right now. Someone with a red button can press it and the thing goes out and you can manually control it. Or you can say, I'm looking for someone based off their driver's license, which gave you all their information. That thing pops up because it's got AI, identifies exactly someone's going to match that, and then feed it back to the computer, which is on board that system. And I didn't go too much in depth because it was the IP part of it, but this is one of the space applications, if you can see there. It is a lot different than what the terrestrial, the Earth use is. This one was designed, AI helped us with that one for the imagery, of course, but that one is going to be like space version. The Earth version will have a retractable dome top. So there's going to be a lot of differences, but a lot of the same uses. We're just integrating it with different materials to a different environment. Sorry, it's a long question to answer there. Yes, please.
What's your relationship with telecom? Do you currently have one? It
No.
seems like they serve a lot of the same government entities that you would want to serve, and
Yeah.
they might be really important in, actually affixing your device to
Yeah.
telephone poles.
Yes.
And yeah, so I just feel like that could be a really good opportunity to explore telecom.
100%. When I look up them and you Google, right, they're like a huge conglomerate, billions of dollars, and you're like, how do I even get in the door? Okay, so that's where I think that we're all doing the same thing. We're all trying to network. Like, I have a lot of questions. There's a lot of stuff I don't know. But there's a lot of experts that I need to lean on and ask the right questions, like the telecom. I don't have an N. I don't have an N at NVIDIA, or SpaceX for that matter. The only thing I have is how much I can pay on social media to put it in front of somebody until I get enough attention. And that's how I feel as an entrepreneur. A lot of times we all feel is, how do I get it out there? So I appreciate everybody in here for that. This is my first time pitching other like-minded people. It's super exciting for me. Usually I'm doing something else on a stage and it's not dancing. So, yeah. But all right, well that's it. I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for my first time here.
And I think it was a good question that you asked, because I know networking is going to help tremendously for first-time founders. A lot of people here, especially first-time founders, may not know the right people that they want to talk to in other companies, or customers that they want to approach. I mean, the decision makers in those companies that they want to talk to. So if you all have any connections that you can help these founders that are coming and pitching, yeah, feel free to make those connections happen, and then help those founders as well. Before we go to the next person, I would also want to put this on the screen. So for all those people in the product side of things, I mean, that work with JetBrains products and things like that, we're going to give a free license to one lucky winner today. So I'll keep this on the screen for quite a while. So please take a scan of that, and then fill in your name and details, and we'll do a raffle in a few minutes from now. So there was 2 more people that raised their hands. We'll go to that person and we'll come to you. Okay. Yeah.
Hi, everyone. My name is Joel. My company is Easy Prop Tax, and as you may imagine, it's focused on property taxes. So my story is like this. So I came down to Texas in October 2021, had to get out of California because the COVID was not a fun place there. It was a lot more fun here. And the place I got it for $385, and in October 2021, the peak of the housing prices. And by January, Travis County told me that, your place is now worth $550,000. I was like, 50% increase in 2 months. Wow. If I annualize that, hey, I could make like millions of dollars really fast. Unfortunately, it's not reality, because the fact is that the county, and every county basically in Texas, they overcharge, and they don't do property taxes the right way. So what I did over the last year was I created an app that essentially allows people to do their own property taxes, and sort of like TurboTax. And on top of that, once I realized it was a nice starting point, I could also use it for myself and help people essentially do up the property taxes for them. So that's essentially what I've done, and I've created this system where essentially like I can do your property taxes for you and protest and go fight the county for you, and it'll take me about like 2 hours on average to get everything ready, and I'll be able to create a better protest. I've basically been able to save on myself, for example, a third off my property taxes. So if you have a property tax problem, you understand like a third's a pretty big deal. Like it's not a typical thing. Like I have had some properties where I've had like a 50+% decrease from what the county wanted. Others, as low as like 25%, whatever. But I've been able to beat Travis County 100% of the time so far. So that's pretty much what I do. The property tax protest representation is $250 flat fee. If you look at the competitors out there, they'll say, oh, we can save you a lot of money, and they cost a lot of money too, so you don't really save much. I hope to try to change that.
Any questions?
Yeah, sure.
So how are you determining the assessment on the property? Because I went through this myself a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Like they tried to crank it up like 300,000 one year.
Sure.
And in Texas, you can only legally increase the assessment 10% annually.
For your homestead. For your homestead.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if like you're above that, do you automatically just come down to that and you come back to the tax assessor?
So what I generally do is I'll essentially compare all the houses that usually the county will give you a house or a set of houses to compare to, and I'll like figure out, hey, what exactly is different about that house versus your house? Like, does that house have a pool and maybe you don't have a pool, and there's a difference because of the pool, for example. And I'll just I basically got a list of like 30 plus items that I've itemized down there, and I can say, hey, does this property have this? Yes, no, and just go down the line. So then I can just say, hey, the fair value for your property based on those houses that the county picked should actually be significantly lower, because the county doesn't adjust for all the things they should, and so their methodology is just very, very bad, generally speaking. For example, like Williamson County, they do a much better job. Still not great.
So are you doing all that yourself, or is that automated?
I input the information. Part of the information is already pulled from a data source. And not all of it is. And so I kind of go through, I check it individually, which is why it takes 2 hours per person. But yeah, at the end, you get essentially an automated 13-page report based off of the input that I provide and check from online sources. So yeah. That basically means that you can get this thing done in like if you were to use the software yourself, you could get it done in 2 hours instead of 20, which is what it took me the first couple of times I tried doing this stuff. It takes a lot of time. Yeah.
Have you been selling this already?
Yes, it's already available. I've had paying customers, so in low double digits, and I'm representing people for the first time this year as a licensed property tax consultant as well. So if you if you don't want to deal with it at all, I'm more than happy to help you. Yeah.
So you're spending 2 hours currently on each process?
Yes, that's correct.
As you expand and scale, like, do you expect like to utilize AI? Like, how do you?
Yeah, as once I get to a certain point, I'll be able to essentially tap into better databases that have better information, and the cost or the time per person really shrinks down to about probably like 15, 20 minutes is what I expect. And at that point, like essentially I can take on a very, very large number of customers. Yeah.
Are you currently limited to a few counties in Texas, or do you do this across states nationwide?
Just Texas overall right now. I'm licensed to do that. It's more of a legal thing rather than any sort of scaling. Yeah.
I already said something, but what's the name of the company?
Easy Prop Tax. Yeah, and feel free to pick up a business card from me. Thank you so much.
Hello, I am from South Korea, so not a native American, so not expect from me. So I've graduated UT Austin when I was in I'm a class of 2011, and I majored in a computer engineering. After I graduated from the UT Austin, I went back to my home country, South Korea, and then I have worked for LG Electronics as a software engineer for little more than 8 years. And then while I was working with the LG Electronics, so I was able to overseeing all the engineers from worldwide. So in order to save the cost of the labor, big companies like LG, Samsung, maybe like a Google, Apple, Tesla, everywhere, like utilizing this offshore development center called like GDC, Global Development Center. And then I was actually one of the manager who's managing over or the overseeing those engineers overseas. But I was actually wonder while I was working for that big company, and maybe the big companies can actually have legal property at the like a third party developing country, and not really being like a small and medium business can actually do those kinds of stuff. So I kind of wanted to break that out. So I came out of the LG Electronics and then like founded this company called iFirst. It's a combination word of the if and else. So it's a different story. So when I actually found this company, and then I created this digital platform called DigiJob. So it's a like combination word of the digital and job. So I try to connect people from like who wants to work for like a United States, and like all the clients from the United States who wants to find out the labor, like a cheap labor cost. So we really specialize in like software development, especially about the web development, and we even deal with some of the Web3 blockchain technology. And I personally specialize in AI technology. So currently, I've been founded this company like 3 years ago, and like last year of the 2024, we've hit the like $1 million revenue. So we are actually making breaking the even. But I am actually here to ask you guys for help, because I don't, now I think it's actually time for me to penetrate into the US market, but I don't really have any kind of way to connect with the US people. So I came back to my hometown, which is Austin, Texas, and then I try to look around the people and see if I can be actually connected with some of the young founders that I can actually help with. And I try to, sign up to the thing called ATI, Austin Technology Incubator, so that I can actually, create some kind of strategic partnership so that we can provide the cheaper labor cost with a very like high level of the management, and they can actually be delivered with the like a cheap cost of the very safe deliverable from their prototype. Yep, I think that's it. Any questions, guys? By hours, or like we can actually do it by product as well. So it's actually depending on how we can actually discuss. Next. Oh, yes, sir.
So you're trying to penetrate the U.S. market, right?
Yes, sir.
So I host monthly events here at Capital Factory, where 90% of the crowd are early stage startup founders, and we're looking for sponsors. Maybe we could work together.
Sure, why not? Let's discuss that later. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
You work with the AI stuff. What interesting things have you done with AI?
Well, yeah, so like nowadays, everyone is actually wondering or the surprising about the ChatGPT. So one of my main revenue stream from Korea is actually try to work with the private sector of the company who's trying to create their like a small language model. So we actually build out those small language model for like a private sector, so that like a data security can be actually secured within the company.
Cool.
Yes, sir. So anyone else? Okay. Feel free to come by me so I can actually give you my business card. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right. So just to recap, the 5 companies so far, Venu, VENU, that's an app on the marketplace, and Forked It, or Forked It, and Gale Project, Easy Prop Tax, and If Else. So if anyone wants to, keep a, subscribe to those or try it out, feel free to do those. And there was one more person, I think. And then we'll come to this group.
Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. My name is Arvind, and I have a co-founder here. If you want to take a picture, you can do that. So 1.5 years ago, I was in Virginia, and I was with my uncle. He has a 7-year-old kid. So he goes to a karate class. And I asked him, why karate class? He doesn't know swimming. I asked, why not swimming class? And his response was, I don't know where to send my kid. I asked.
Would you mind a bit closer with the microphone?
Is it good now?
Thank you. Yes.
Perfect, okay. Thanks. And he essentially said, someone recommended me this after-school program, and because of that, his kids is at the karate class, essentially. And slowly we realized that with my co-founder, we went to South by Southwest last year, and there was this mother was complaining about and ranting about how difficult it is to find after-school programs or summer camps for the kids in the US. So essentially, we started working on this product idea. It's a marketplace for parents to find after-school programs, summer camps for the kids. There are a few platforms like that out in the world, and they are not that great in terms of UI, in terms of functionalities. And let me actually pull it up here for that. We are nailcamp.com, and it's a search platform for parents to find after-school programs or summer camps. So there are certain things that we realize is lacking in their platform, essentially, like the script data, all the data from all the providers out there. So they don't have authentic informations, not updated information as well. They're not verified reviews as well. And some of the features that we want to add is this chat services, booking facilities, progress trackers, even calendar sync as well. And and we want to make this free for parents, of course, because every child deserves a safe, enriching, and affordable after-school programs. And if you look at the programmer side or the sites for the service providers, there are things that they're lacking as well. Thanks for joining, Deepak. Right now, what we noticed was these platforms out there, I believe there are two right now that are in the front fair. One is HiSwear, one is Activity Hero, and both of them do not have a mobile app. I think that's pretty lacking. So parents are not getting any notifications about their kids' progress, anything like that. And they don't have integrated chat system as well so that they can communicate with the parents. And these are some fundamental things that we noticed are lacking. And we thought maybe we would penetrate in this space with some of these technologies that we think might be helpful. You want to add anything?
Yeah, just to add, like we all know parenting is hard. We're trying to tackle that problem by helping parents decide how to find suitable programs for their kids. There are so many programs in the area, but it's really hard to know like what is around them. So we are building this marketplace that is going to help them find those programs around them. We are also going to use some APIs, open APIs, and some data sets to determine based on like what obviously, for example, if I'm a child, I want to become a pianist, I want to become an astronaut, it will help parents decide what programs to send their kids to. So we are helping parents make some recommendations based on what child wants to do. So we're building that marketplace. Right now, we're also doing market research and building MVP. So if you have any questions, if you have questions about the idea itself, feel free to ask.
One thing that we're trying to gather as much as possible is parents' feedback and the providers' feedback as well, in terms of what some of the things that are really lacking, or they really care about when it comes to sending their kids or finding programs online. So if you could recommend us any parents who have kids, we'd love to learn from them, or the service providers as well. That'd be wonderful.
Any questions?
Yeah.
So I was an early stage engineer with Galore, which was bought by Care.com, and also Leslie's.com. And they've both been pretty heavily affected by this recent FCC ruling. They're in exactly those same spaces. So Galore was acquired by Care.com, and Lessons is an independent company, but it has a bunch of different domains and works with Thumbtack and other provider side of things, right? It's a marketplace play, very similar. A lot of their revenue stream has come from basically reselling leads and providing leads. But Thumbtack and a lot of the major players in that space have, as of just the last couple of weeks, have cut off these kinds of resale opportunities because of the FCC ruling. How does that affect your business model? How does that affect what you guys are the difficulty of basically of being able to do provider resales? So many of
Sorry, the difficulty to do. Can you repeat the last part?
Yeah. So if you are it's a marketplace, there's two sides there.
Right.
The provider side and then the buyer side. And so a lot of the industry has operated around consolidation of providers within the industry. So Thumbtack as a large player that has a lot of providers, and they basically purchase leads, right? Because a lot of smaller local players don't actually have the provider network to be able to say this is where so much is in class or receive lessons, et cetera, et cetera. So how are you guys navigating the fact that a lot of the larger players in this space who will buy leads effectively, even if you as part of revenue generation, you guys don't have a large enough provider base to fulfill every request that comes through. So from a revenue perspective, it would be reselling those leads to somebody else, and a lot of that has disappeared with the new FCC regulation. So what's your path to replacing that? How's that affecting your
Yeah. Complicated question. As we dive deep, we'll unwrap this. But to answer some parts of the question, like for small businesses, a lot of the cost is also they have to maintain website, their engineering department, being able to look at all the applications from the provider side. So our marketplace, and we also have the provider side of it. So essentially, they are able to onboard onto our platform. We have better SEO, a lot of traffic, and so because of that, they don't need to maintain their own engineering department or even website. So all of that can be done on our site, which is going to reduce cost for them. That is one. About the FNCC, I haven't dived deep, so we'll have to look into it. But thanks for bringing it up. We're early on, so yeah. I think there was another question. To the provider. Yeah. So right now, I think also the problems are some of the there's a spectrum. Some of the programs are really large. They're able to reach the numbers really quick. Summer programs easily run out. Students, some parents, they're not able to meet deadlines, and so there's surplus applications for some of the programs. Some of the programs don't have enough. So our our platform is going to like reduce that problem by like giving more visibility for smaller programs. So that is going to, so that's one, reducing cost, two, visibility. Does that answer? Oh, so it will be commission based. So providers who use our platform will charge based on, so it will be free for parents, but once parents actually book something on the platform, so they'll book the summer program or after school programs. On that, similar to what Airbnb does, like 7% commission, 9% commission for each booking. So something, we are still working on the exact number, but something in that range. That's right, yep. That's right, yep. Yep.
Thanks, everyone.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
How do you plan to onboard service providers, given safety concerns or legible service providers saying parents need to trust people to send their kids to them? And secondly, how do you ensure that parents are not communicating directly to the providers and eliminating your stage, so you don't, on the commission, they directly contact them?
For the first part, there is an organic way of going. We're trying to release an MVP end of February in Virginia. We spent like 1.5 years there, and we have a good network and connections there. So all the parents that are out there sending kids to these providers, it's organically we'll just like reach out to them and ask them to onboard on our platform, essentially. The other platforms out there, Highsware and Activity Hero, what they do is they scrape data and they only have like a bunch of information on the sites. So that's very inorganic way of growing. Our process is pretty slow, but eventually we'll gather more user base.
Yeah, so also going to add, like, trust is very expensive. We know that. So two things. One, background screening of the providers. We're going to do all the background screening for the providers. We're going to work with the third party there. And then familiarity. So some parents already work with these programs. So we are going to, they're not going, essentially it will just be in the middle, like basically whichever programs they already work with, they will come to our platform, they'll just do the same thing. So it's not like initially it will just be the familiar programs that parents are already familiar with. That is, slowly it's going to establish trust.
Thank you very much. Now, before we go to this side of the section, we'll go with one of our long-term Meetup partners. Yeah, I'll ask him to come and introduce himself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Charlie Dominguez, and I have an app called Checkmate. What I'd like for you to do for a second is just I'm going to say a few words, and you sort of get the images of what I'm speaking of and just think about for yourself. So if you do a moment, if I bring up the word mothers, I want you to think of not only your own mom, maybe you think about the mom that's at the airport that's hugging her kids and leaving them with their dad as she takes off on a business trip. I want you to think about sisters. Think about your own sisters. Think about your sister's best friends. I want you to think about nieces. Think about how young they are and they're growing up, they're going to be something. Think about those daughters that are dropped off at college. Their parents are wishing them the best, that they're going to start a new life. And after you think about all those people, I want you to remember that 40% of all women in the United States either you're going to be raped or they're going to be attempted raped. Checkmate is a user-to-user, post-connection rating app. What is that? That's an Amazon rating, but for people. The difference is that Checkmate is anonymous. No one knows what your ratings are. No one knows what you've rated someone else. And Checkmate is consensual, which means you have to send an invite. That person has to accept that invite to do a rating later. The idea behind Checkmate is to make sure that every woman that goes out with a guy for the first time, that they're going to know what other women have rated that person on safety. We have to take a step forward to bring equity for all people, and gender equity is important. In a nutshell, that's Checkmate. Checkmate starts off in the online dating world because with our marketing dollars and our go-to-market strategies with Greek organizations, that's what we're using. But we also think about Checkmate expanding into gig markets, where maids that go clean people's homes, or realtors that show property, and then eventually into marketplace, where when people come to your house, you'll have leverage over the idea, over the connection, because you both know you're going to be rated. And that's checkmate. Any questions? Oh, yes, sir.
Do you tend to like, I don't know, I feel like could you integrate with dating apps so it's not like its own platform, but it's like it built into the dating apps where they could do it from there?
Sure. You can partner with dating apps, but the only problem with dating apps is that dating apps also realize that 40% of their individual subscribers are faking it. So the last thing they want to do is bring in a service that's going to identify them as being fakes and flakes, and that's the biggest complaint on dating apps. Yes, sir?
And along those lines, like segregating on like internet forums or something, if you're doing, or one-star Amazon reviews, right? Platforms like Twitter, like big platforms that have moderation teams, Facebook, they have that problem. So, and especially when you're tying that to someone's integrity and dignity, that's something I really just want to protect. And I think integrating it into the apps may be a way that can sort of obscure that or help that in a way. So that's just a concern I'd want to share with you. That's all.
85% of the guys I've spoken to are always brings up revenge rating. That person that gives you a bad rating. But the way we fix that is to have two things. One with our algorithms, and really can't talk too much about it, but identifies people's rating behavior. And then two is we have a feature on the app that before you confirm that you're actually going to do a rating, you'll see their composite score of ratings they've given others. So say they have 25 ratings and 5 of them are below 3 stars, you're going to think twice before you accept the confirmation. That allows accountability and transparency to both parties when they rate to know there's a consequence for giving a bad rating. The next question is, well, then what about the person that has to give a bad rating? I'm going to tell you right now, if a female or a trans or a femme guy, if they get beat up, the last thing they're going to worry about is having a bad rating score on checkmate. They're going to give that person a bad rating. The biggest problem with survivors, is that they are not able to tell someone what they've done, what has happened to them. And this allows that to take place, that they can tell something to tell their community what's going on. Yes, sir?
What stops someone from just creating a new profile?
I'm sorry, say again?
What stops someone from creating a new profile once this rating is
Each of the ratings is based on handset. So if you want to start all over, then you have to go get another phone. Checkmate is not not going to solve the criminals. It's there to pick up accountability and transparency in the digital world. If you're a criminal and you do this on a crime basis, well, we're not going to be able to catch you. That's the police. But in order for you to pick an account, you'd have to get a new handset. The handset would recognize your rating. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
How do you anticipate, like, convincing people to opt in to something like that, especially if, maybe they're not the best kind of individual?
I got you. So there is a consequence. So that's what happens. There are going to be plenty of people that don't want to get on the app because they're not good people and they're not trustworthy and they're not transparent. They're fakes and flakes. And so that's what we want to eliminate. So when you give a rating, you'll be able to identify if they're doing racist jokes, homophobe jokes, misogynistic jokes, whatever it may be. You can identify that personality and they're going to know they've overstepped their place. So yeah, not everyone's going to want to be on the app if you're not a decent person.
So you mentioned you're starting in the Greek life community. How is that going for you guys, and how have you scaled so far?
We have one fraternity at Texas State. We have one in UT we're negotiating contracts with. Basically, they each give us, I don't want to take up too much time, they give us 4 ratings per month per member. That's around 400 ratings a month. So we feel like by doing this quote-unquote forced rating, they're going to be able to help us with our brand awareness throughout the campus. And we'll have kiosks with our brand ambassadors, stuff like that. But basically, they have an issue, and there's a legal brief we created called foreseeability. The fraternities, when they do eventually get sued, the judgment of foreseeability is like, what did you do to have prevented this from taking place as the organization? If they incorporate our Greek safety program, they'll be able to rely on that and say, we're talking about it every week. I created that because I came up in the military, and when I came back from the military, I was in charge of a safety program because we had soldiers fighting each other while we were waiting to get process out. And so we had to come up with an incentive program to keep them from doing that. And that's where the basis of Checkmate came from. Thank you.
And that's CHKM and number 8 on the app stores, Checkmate. So feel free to download that and share that news. So we'll first go through this group, and then we'll come to that group. Okay. So anyone from this group? Okay, there's 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, we'll go with.
Hello, everyone. My name is Russ. I've been in Austin from 2012. This is the first year where we are trying to start something. I'll start with the question. What's in common between big businesses, middle businesses, small businesses, and even homeowners? So they all buy stuff, but the way how they buy stuff is very different. The large organization, they have dedicated procurement functions. They have an army of people, so they have sourcing managers, procurement managers. They go through the whole cycles of RFPs, RFIs, etc. I'm sure many people here know what I'm talking about. While the smaller businesses, as well as the owners, they usually do this more at ad hoc basis. Actually, there are a lot of companies with several thousand people, they still don't have procurement function. And the procurement function is managed on spreadsheets. It's managed by CEOs, co-founders. And sometimes we are talking about millions of dollars of items being purchased, right? And that's being done not thoroughly. So what we're doing is essentially building the AI procurement agent. So that's an AI agent-based solution that's affordable, and that's targeted on small businesses up to 1,000 people, as well as the homeowners, actually, right? So where they can make the procurement decision smart. And the way how we're building it, so we're starting with building AI procurement hub. It starts with the point solutions for specific problems that we're solving. And then in the future, we're planning to integrate into the bigger solution. So so just to kind of give a little more details what I'm talking about, so think benchmarking, like AI agent RFI, RFP, contract management. So all of these things, they require very specialized knowledge. And in many small businesses, especially, this is essentially an afterthought. So this is it. I don't have much yet. So we're still building a prototype. So this is very early stage. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. So we do have a potential customer. We're still working on the prototype where we kind of build the POC of the first product, but it's still building a prototype. But yeah, we have one in pipeline where we can. They are interested in testing this out. Yeah, sure. All right. All right. Cool. Thank you.
All right. So thank you. Oh, yeah, okay.
So we are planning to launch the first version within the next couple of months, but this will be built as a suite of solutions, right? So an AI-based solution. So over time, we will add more and more. So the first one is we are working as benchmarking with AI agent platform, but there's a lot to cover, yeah, besides that. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I know there's one more person here. What was he? Yeah.
Okay. I've been thinking. When life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Get mad. I don't want your damn lemons! Do you know who I am? I'm the man who's gonna burn your house down with the lemons. Okay, we're starting this. We're doing this. If any of you haven't played Portal 2, you have no idea what's going on right now, but this is just happening. So I'm going to give you a bit of background about myself. I'm an applied genetic algorithms researcher with a background in quantitative finance. So a little bit about what I do. I run a company called ShipSense. My co-founder is a quant trading out of Cincinnati. We currently have a model that's completely proprietary that is currently generating 7 figures in revenue for clients already. And you know, the first thing you think of when you think of quantitative finance is not trucking, shipping, and logistics. And this was kind of the shock to me. Looking back about 6 months ago when my co-founder and I met, we were up in New York for a quantitative conference. And
one of the things I had asked him originally when I sat down, I was like, well, you have this amazing model. Why would you not try to continue applying it to finance? And we had met a very successful founder there who had also given us some advice on this. And a huge issue with these quantitative models is that when you start a hedge fund, a company like this, they end up blowing up later down the line. Like they say with kind of seed funding, that venture capital money, it's not your money. And usually these models tend to, trade really well, something, it does, performs incredibly well. And then later down the line, all of a sudden, you just don't know why it's not performing, and the hedge fund shuts down. So my co-founder had worked in trucking and shipping and logistics for a couple years prior to our meeting, and he had told me that a major issue they're running into was actual pricing. So one of the clients who we're currently working with has told us that any pricing in this industry, because a security like anything else, it is trying to find a current price for a buyer. And for instance, a lot of logistics companies will say, hey, we need to charge $1,000 next week, right? And the primary market that we're actually doing this pricing for is going to be called box trucks. So something that they've told us is we'll quote them out $1,000 or something. 2 weeks from now, the market price could change. And all of a sudden, either they're losing money or the client themselves goes out there and says, hey, someone else is offering us a better price now and they lose the sale. This is, something that is really difficult in these newer emerging markets that are very data sparse, right? You can't price them. So essentially what we're doing is we're going in with our quantitative finance background and applying these models to the logistics industry. We currently have a client in the pipeline. We're working with them right now to build out their model. And yeah, it's been a long year, so I kind of needed that start for this. Any questions? Cool, thank you.
All right, so the next is you. And, after this, talk, we'll have a raffle around, and then we'll go to the next set of speakers. So yeah, just take a scan of that, for those that haven't done so yet. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Wait, let me just pull up the website. All right, so just moved to Austin 3 weeks ago from San Francisco, so this is fun. Who here knows what an ERP is? All right, for those of you who don't know, it's the operating system behind most companies. So if you are a manufacturer of couches, you're gonna need to find materials, you're gonna need to find metal, you're gonna need to find people, you're gonna need to rent a warehouse and do all sorts of these things. So obviously there has to be some software where you can sell stuff, you can purchase stuff, you can watch your dashboards, and you can generate business intelligence. Now, the problem with this type of software is that it's very expensive. Even companies who are making under $1 million a year in profit will have to pay $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 for one of these types of softwares. The reason is each company is unique, and then they require implementation, which is very costly. Now, what we have done at Neologic, we have built a platform that automates the development of ERP systems for small to medium-sized companies, and we generate the code behind it. This means that our cycle of implementation is we capture the requirements today, we deliver you tomorrow, we do check-ins, and then so on and so on until we have delivered the full platform. So far, we've done a few things in terms of traction. We have $300,000 ARR. Our largest customer is a Fortune 500. It was a lot of work to do that. Google wrote a case study about us because we use a lot of AI and we generate a lot of code. And Mongo has a 3-minute video about everything that we have done in the ERP space. Me personally, I'm not on the first crazy technology that I've done. I have 5 patents in predictive analytics and machine maintenance used by Cisco, IBM, Meta, and a bunch of others. So right now, what we're up to, this is how the platform looks and acts. So you create visual flows. Our consultants create visual flows. And once you hit publish, then it starts creating everything from the business intelligence, the AI agents associated with it. It is focused on manufacturing a special metal and plastic. It can be used in other domains as well, but this is our main focus right now. I moved to Texas because I'm working with manufacturers here, plastic, oil and gas, and a bunch of others. The ask right now, we're raising $2 million. We raised 500K. We have a bunch of commits. And yeah, just looking to have more fun. Thank you.
I'm just curious, who do you use for the AI on that?
OpenAI, and we also have a Llama model. Yeah, so I actually wrote an agentic framework, backend and agent orchestration, which I presented and also published at Arise AI in San Francisco. And that I'm going to open source. I'm working on the documentation so I can open source it. Yeah.
Your website looks great.
Thank you.
Is that a video or like some?
Yeah, it's a video.
How did you create it?
I just asked a friend of mine who does these things.
Good friends.
Yeah.
So like, what's the process like when you start with a new company, like,
Yeah.
and how to build this out? Like, how
So
does that go?
that's a cool question. So the way it works is we talk to a specific company, and based on the applications that we already have in our app store, we start talking to them and we see what they need. Then we create a workspace. This happens within the first 20 minutes. We create a workspace with their applications, and then we start asking about the process. Some create shipping documents at the same time as invoice. Others, they do it separately. So there's all sorts of these things like that. But at the same time, we're capturing all of these and we're fine-tuning our models because the idea is to get to a one-page description of your business, and that's your entire software. So far, we eliminated the need for software development, but there's still a need for project management and business analysis. So now, for the next step, we're going to eliminate that as well and give it directly to the customer. So basically, custom software on a subscription for pretty much any type of business.
One more question? Not really a question.
Yeah.
I used to do small business embedded finance lending. If you have any interest in seeing how that might tie into ERP,
Yep.
happy to talk.
Yep, for sure, for sure.
Do you feel there's a huge difference in between different customers, between the ERPs of different companies, or is it like one base model but then a few small tweaks between customers?
Yeah, so if you look at niches, there's differences, but if you look at niches of niches, so for example, manufacturers of metal stuff, it's a slight variation, 5 to 10%. If you're looking at manufacturers at metal, there's a few niches inside that. So at niche of niche, you can get very focused and it's almost identical. Cool, thank you.
All right. Now we'll do the raffle and go to the next set of speakers. All right. Okay, let me see. There it is. So here, refresh that. And
We've got a winner!
all right, Trent Truly. Who's Trent? Oh, there. All right. Awesome. I'll send you the license through email. So I got your email, so awesome. Congratulations. Awesome. So we'll go to the next set of speakers here. So there's 1, 2, and 3. I think there was one more that raised hand earlier, but yeah, we'll come to that. So yes, sir, you can.
Hello, everyone. My name is Safal. I am a software developer by profession, and I really love reading technical stuff. So there is a website called educative.io for tech guys, probably knowing it already. So I had a subscription for that, and it was costing me like, I think, $150 an year. And as ChatGPT came in, I started using ChatGPT app a lot, and then then this idea came to my mind, like, why should not I just convert the content generated from the ChatGPT into a readable and organized way of courses? So basically, the idea is very simple. It's like people are doing a lot of wrappers on the top of ChatGPT, and it's like an wrapper on the top of ChatGPT. So the idea is to generate the content and present it in the form of well-organized courses. And I'm saying it as it's called My Curriculum. So it's not fancy. I'm converting it to app, and it takes some time to load because the images are also generated by the AI itself, and the size of the images is really big. But everything, whatever you're seeing here, even the code itself, the code, what it is running, like the website itself is, oh, it's not loaded here. It's loading on the screen. I don't know what. Oh, now it comes. Okay. So yeah, it's very simple right now. I'm converting it to app, but the idea is not just to limit it. Right now, you can see there is like front end, back end, all the computer science stuff, because I'm putting the computer science category right now. But the idea is to have any kind of categories based on your preferences, and I'm pretty close to that. It's already there. But just to show you, it's like how it looks like right now. Like say, for example, AI, this entire thing is generated by ChatGPT. It's organized into courses content, and this you can see like it looks like very organized, and it looks like a proper course, and then you can just keep reading and going to next pages and all that. And right now it's very limited to this, but then I'm going to add more categories. The fun part here is the courses are generated by itself. So for example, if you're looking for front-end development, and this is like, let's say, a beginner level course, but you want like an advanced level course, so you can just click on generate, and it's going to go to the ChatGPT APIs and create entire coursework for you. And it's going to present it into nice format. And then as you keep reading, it keeps generating the content one by one. And this is, the idea is not just to limit here. So I don't know how many of you have looked into LinkedIn Learning. It's very exhaustive. Like, and then the same, I'm going to convert this thing into pretty much like LinkedIn, like the textual version of LinkedIn Learning, which is like you can have, I want to learn our certain field at certain level, and I am working on in this area and all that, and then it will just generate the course for you. So again, it might take some time, so please wait. Here I convert, like let's say I generated a front-end development, so you can see there is a front-end development advanced level course generated here, which was not there earlier. And then you can see this, it starts with advanced concepts itself, and then in the advanced you can see, okay, there is this closure scopes or something. It started with something which is really advanced in front end. And then as you start navigating, it keeps generating the content. And then this again can be automated overnight. Like you can actually create the entire courses overnight. So this is right now, again, generated by itself. Like yeah, so that's the current idea. Any questions? I'm already working on enhancement to this into a fully fledged app. Yeah, so any questions here? Yeah. Yeah, it's I'm paying it for that, but it's very cheap. It's not that expensive. So if you are running it overnight, let's say generating all the courses, it probably would be maybe $100 for everything. It's really cheap. Yeah, 4.0 is really cheap. Yeah. No, it's oh yeah, you mean where it's hosted? The backend is hosted in the hostinger. I think they use AWS. Yeah. Yeah.
How are you making sure content is vetted properly? Because I'm sure that its context is going to get overflowed at some point if you're generating these long courses. And
I think. Yeah, so 4.0 has a little long context length, I think. So again, if the idea is to break into small sections and not feed the entire thing to the ChatGPT. So it's keeping the context of the section, and then section keep the context of the entire syllabus.
As opposed to a textbook where it understands the context length is,
Mhm.
it understands the full context, correct? So
Yes.
that was the only concern that I would.
Yeah, but then initially I'm because it is two ways or stages process. Stage one is to generate the syllabus. So that's how you get to know like everything should be coherent, and then within the syllabus you go section by section, and then yeah. Any other question? Yeah. Yeah, it's very again but then it can be extended to like we can generalize it. It's really useful. Like I personally like it. I use it pretty much like for myself, but the idea is to make it right now.
What I found was I was working on it for investment an intern. So I wanted to screen people in. So I started working on the logic of it. Years ago we were just used Google Form. Have you productized this such that the user decides multiple choice, true, false, open-ended? I mean, I know you can have a feature list forever. It's good, but where are you starting?
Oh yeah, so there is a list of. So I'm thinking on two things. One is the list of your preferences, which like I want to, let's say you're an art expert, you want to learn more about art. So that is like one list of things. And then, so it's not going to be like you type anything and it just generates it. It's going to be limited by these dropdowns and your personal preferences. Did I answer your question?
Well, let's take Google Forms.
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain amount of parameters, that you can pull from. So for a curriculum, the content's easy, right? Grabbing the content's easy. It's framing the questions. It's whether or not you want to quantify answers, all those things.
Oh, this is just to read. It's not a question and answer, but yeah, I think if you're asking for like creating the question and answer out of the syllabus, then that's not there right yet. Yeah. But yeah, I got your. I think that can be done, but I'm not focusing on that right now. It's just to read. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Question.
How do you control for misinformation?
I'm the one reading it right now. So, but yeah, as if I want to grow it, then probably we need someone content moderation, which AI can itself be a content moderator. So again, there will be some training to be done to make it like in a certain direction. But yeah, it can be done by that.
All right. Thank
Cool.
you.
Thank you.
And that's mycurriculum.io. And then there's two folks here. We'll go with you, and then we'll come to you. Okay.
Hey y'all, how's it going? My name is Ben. I'm a rock climber. I hike. Love the outdoors. Little raise of hands. Who here likes to travel, go on trips, adventures? Vast majority. Got about 65% of people. I'm also a software engineer, so I work for Capital One. My calling is building and making stuff, so I'm not going to talk about any of that Capital One or anything. I'm just going to talk about something I built. I've never talked about it or pitched it before. Just want to give it a shot, so this should be interesting. So yeah, sounds like y'all, like to travel in here, like adventure. So I'm going to tell like just a quick little story. I was just like a month or two ago planning a little trip. I was going to go on a road trip from DC up to Acadia National Park. So it was a little bucket list item of mine. And driving up there, you got to sleep in the car. I have my Subaru Forester. You got to go up through Boston, New York. You make your way up there day by day. I wasn't taking PTO, so I was just trying to work during the day, drive at night, and then make it there on a weekend. So kind of spur of the moment. So I started doing some research on, how was I going to do this trip in like an effective way. And so I also reached out to a bunch of friends, and they gave me like dozens of recommendations. And so I had this whole list of recommendations and things to do, and I just did not know. I was a little overwhelmed with everything. I wish there was just an easier way. Can I just take all these recommendations, just plop them on like a little map, just real quick, and just see, here's where everything is. Here's the stuff in New York they mentioned. Here's the stuff that's close to each other, so I could actually see what on day one, what I should do on day two. I didn't want to spend hours and hours trying to plan this trip. I just wanted to make it quick and easy. So I came up with this idea in the climbing gym as I was leaving. This is 5 days before the road trip. And I called it Figure 8 Maps because of the figure 8 knot from climbing is the first thing I thought of. It's basically the idea here is just having a quick and easy adventure planner. And my trip was in a few days. I just wanted to build it real quick before the trip so I could use it for that trip. And so what I'm going to do is stop talking about my story. And how do you feel about a little demo? Sound good? All right. So I'm going to try to do a one-handed demo here. Oh, and by the way, I'm just visiting Austin for the weekend. I booked this flight like a week ago. Decided an hour before this I'm going to get an apartment here. So I'll be living here soon. And yeah, I've never pitched this or anything, so let's see. So this is actually live, so you can go visit the website, but it's a little rough still. This is the first version. So when you go in, you're met with this example map, and it's actually of New York, and if you click on the pins, it's just a little tutorial of the app, so you can kind of learn about how to use this website. Don't open it on your phone. It's really for desktop right now. And if I try to make a new map, say call hello, you see on the left here is a bunch of custom maps I can make. On the right, there's a place I can drop pins super quickly. It's just kind of a rough, quick and easy, way for a traveler to plan their trip. So I try to click a map, but I don't have an account logged in, so I'm gonna go ahead and log in here. You mind holding this for a second while I log in? See, this is good for me? No. Oh, YouTube app. They got creative. Got it. All right, I'll take that microphone. They want me to do another. I think my it expired, so let me go ahead and try this one more time. I promise you, I'm waiting on YouTube to give me this number. Okay. There we go. Yes, thank you for being patient. Touch ID. Thanks. There's a a very secure application I built here. Very sophisticated. A passkey. All right, I'll go passkey. So lost security, no. This is all Google, Firebase. It's gonna take its time loading. So. Let's see if it actually did what it's supposed to do. Cool. So I planned this trip using this, Figure 8 Maps, and you can see I got a lot of recommendations for this trip. and I had a weekend here, so I popped it all on the map. And so what makes this different from, using Google Maps or Apple Maps or something, right? Is I just want a quick and easy way to throw pins on a map and just see, where things are close to each other. I want to write kind of notes on there and categorize them and just get a quick sense of things. So I have a bunch of these custom maps. I made one for the Acadia trip here. That's all the way over on the East Coast. I made one for Austin. And I'm living over here on East Village, that's where my Airbnb's at, and I have these coffee shops around there. I can also add a new pin, so I'll do like Ladybird Lake Trail, call it Ladybird, and Ladybird Lake Trail, and that's a hike. And it's like, let's say it's a medium hike. I don't need a reservation. And I can add that, and actually just throws it into the mix of pins. So I just want a quick and easy way to plan the trip. So thanks for being patient with the wait time there. You're probably wondering about AI. How does AI get into all this? You can imagine, one easy way is you have a little prompt. You can throw just a bunch of recommendations you get, and it transforms that into a list of pins and just throws them on the map for you. So that's a quick feature to build. How do you make money from something like this? I was thinking just do kind of a limit on the number of maps you can make or pins you can do. So once you hit like 5 maps, it prompts you to maybe do a little subscription of some sort. Just something easy like that. And now my ask, right? What's my ask is I just want to get your thoughts on, maybe this gave you a few ideas of your own just looking at it, this basic version of this app. So I'd love to hear those ideas and just get a little feedback. And that really sums it up. Thanks. And questions? Thank you.
This is more of like how, because something you had mentioned was when you go to like a new city, a new town, you're constantly meeting people and reading suggestions for new places. Something that I run into an issue a lot, and I would absolutely pay for is like I'm constantly getting texts like, oh, you should check out this place, you should check out that place. Some kind of like iOS integration where you can just like use AI, hold your finger down on the name and like click the app, and then it essentially like uses AI to like Google the name of like the location or whatever they suggested, and then immediately add it to the map.
Okay, I like that. Good idea.
Have you seen, like, check to see if there's any other apps doing something similar to this already?
It's a good question. If you find one, let me know.
I have seen something similar, that's why I asked.
Yes, please let me know so I can get inspiration. Okay. Good. Thank you. I'll talk to you first because you still want to ask a question?
Sure. Maybe just limited recommendations on the side, just, you can use the AI for that too,
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot you can do with this, so I want to give a little basic, this is a prototype, so there's a lot you can do with it.
I'll say I'll be using this for my trip to Vermont next week. So
Yeah, so, yeah, Figure 8 Maps, it's the Adventure Planning Made Easy app. That's my slogan right now. I just made it up. Did you have something to say too? Or just for later? Right. Perfect. Anything else? Yeah, hikers, mostly like outdoorsy people. So you'll notice like, I'm an outdoorsy person. So I kind of built it for myself. And then I realized maybe other people might like this. You can imagine this could also be an easy way to like share things that you did or like remember things you did on a trip. It's so easy to forget. You go on a trip and then you come home and you forget. So now I can go back and look at my Acadia trip at how I did it. Like where did I start and where did I end the trip and share that with friends as well. Sure.
I mean, I see obviously you have more options in terms of like adding more notes and categories and that sort of thing, but is that the main differentiator?
So I found with going the Google route that it just took a lot longer I want a quick and easy way, just a scrappy way to do this. I didn't want to be going through Google. And I didn't feel like it was customized enough for what I needed. I just wanted to write lots of notes and categorize it certain ways. And it just wasn't quick enough for what I was looking for, and I didn't need all the stuff that comes with Google. I use Leaflet, which is like a little library, and I just make everything really lightweight. So that's kind of the reasoning. Cool, I think that was time. Thank you.
Yeah, I was looking for you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kate. I have been your photographer for the night. Thank you for putting up with my new obsession. I got that for Christmas. So, yeah. Who here has a wonderful relationship with their in-laws? Okay, a few hands. You know, some of us do, some of us don't. If you don't, you do not need to raise your hand. We're not going to ask that tonight. But many people around the world and many people here might not have the best relationship with their in-laws. And in some areas where you don't have good relations with your in-laws, that can mean you lose your home. So I was 10 years ago in sub-Saharan Africa in Kilifi, Kenya. Or sorry, I was not in Kilifi, Kenya. I did some time in Kilifi, Kenya, but I'm sorry, I was in Kisumu, Kenya. I was in Kisumu, Kenya, and I was talking with a woman, and I was looking at her rice farm, and I was looking at her books, and I was just like, I don't understand why you wouldn't invest more in your farm. Like, this just doesn't make sense. You can go to 1 Acre Fund, you can get a loan. Like, everything about this, none of this makes sense. Like, why don't you just invest more in your farm? And she told me, you know, if I get a loan, it's going to be in my name, but the land is in the land is in my husband's name and he's deceased. She's a widow, right? And my family-in-law is trying to steal my land. And this is a common occurrence, is when the family-in-law dies, that the woman gets her land stolen when there's no paperwork for the land. Because the land is actually not in his name, it doesn't exist. 90% of land in sub-Saharan Africa has no documentation, and 60% of land around the world has no documentation. So what the heck do we do about this, right? Because we can't have that. And around the world, when you don't have documentation, you see economies slow to a halt, really. Not to a halt completely. That's a little exaggeration, forgive me. But you see the Asian tigers that really did succeed and really did speed up and really did go quickly versus Asian countries that were a lot slower. The huge differentiating factor was property rights, because you can do an economy, and now I'm realizing what you guys do with a camera. You guys were dealing with this the entire time. I'm so sorry. I gave the guy that has a YouTube channel a camera, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. And so when you have property rights, you can get a loan from the bank, and then you can build an apartment building, right? Or you would plant a tree and really invest in your land. And so we're not going to solve all of the world's problems, and we're not even going to solve all the property rights problems, but we are going to make it faster to document land. And we're working with land surveyors to make better surveying tools. So we're hoping to launch this spring. I'm really excited to launch in Nairobi, Kenya. With my co-founder, and we are making better surveying tools. So you no longer have to go to your GPS, write things down on paper, send it to the government. Everything is completely digital. And making a solution that really works for people and starts documenting land in an entirely digital way, an entirely secure way, and documents it faster, reducing corruption, and ultimately giving people a piece of their home back, because that's what really matters. Thank you. I'm Kate. Oh, I'm so sorry. Questions? Yeah, what's up? More in so we don't need buy-in from the government. We do need buy-in from the surveyors. And so we in Kenya, the surveyors can choose their own software. We do have 2 county governments that we're working with outside of Nairobi that are interested in working with us, but it's too early to talk about that, but that's outside of Nairobi. But surveyors can choose their own surveying tools and their own equipment, but eventually we do plan to work with the government. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, so the surveyors like it because it makes them more money, because the faster they work, the more money they make. Like, they just get paid per survey. And so if we can make their work faster and more efficient, and the way it works in Kenya at least is they can have a registered surveyor, so they register with ISK, the Institute of Surveyors of Kenya. If they can register, if they can have unregistered surveyors work underneath them, so we make it easy to work with surveyors underneath them. So we're working with a few surveyors, and they like that it can help them manage and just approve from an office, and they don't have to like mail back or like send, they call them matatus, but they're buses. They don't have to send back paperwork through buses and things like that and potentially get it lost. And they don't have to worry about checks or money, or they don't really use checks, but they don't have to worry about like the M-Pesa payments are all transferred and the money payments are all transferred. Sorry, terminology. But yeah, so far we're getting really positive feedback on it. You never know until it's actually out there, until people are actually paying for it. But so far, I mean, the incentives are lined up. I'm a big economics person, and when the incentives are lined up, that's when people do things. And I like when you align people's incentives to do the right thing. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing that happens all the time. I wish I had my slide deck up here. There's a good, on my slide deck, there's a good picture of this land is not for sale written on a wall. And that's a thing that happens that people do quite often. And so there's previous colonial documents that you can upload in our system. So you can upload previous documents, you can upload water bills and other evidence. So we have an evidence section that you upload. But we encourage basically a lot of documentation. And then because it's a GPS system, we can actually see when things overlap. Versus right now, you can't see when two pieces of land are claimed at the same spot. It's not a perfect system. There still can be overlaps in claims, but when there's actually an overlap of claim, we can address it now, and it can go to the court or it can go into mediation, rather than just sitting like that, sitting overlapping claims for decades. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, and good luck on your launch this year. I think there was 2 more. Okay, 3 more. Yeah, we'll start with you, and then you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sam, and I am a product designer. A kind of like a family kind of problem, or let me be more clear. Someone in the family fell in the bathroom, and the consequences after that kind of triggered kind of like a journey for me about kind of like the aging problem. And I've been obsessed about aging in the last 12 months, doing a lot of research and starting a lot of experiments to see the aging issue. And started a kind of like a company last year with a co-founder who is also a software engineer, working together to find the right problem. Not that we have the problem. We started the company, we launched a website to see how we can address that problem. And the problem of falling is a big problem in the US. At least 3 million people in a year just visit emergency rooms for falls, and it's $1 billion kind of issue that government is dealing with. But our kind of focus was how we can prevent those kind of things related to aging to happen, especially falling is the trigger of everything that is related to, you know, they call it the beginning of an end. So falling is the beginning of an end for old people. So it appears that every solution is basically for after falling. Every technical solution, technology is basically for after that. If you fall, it will trigger something for the ER to come, or some people to rescue you. Nothing is for before falling. And through our research, we know that there is no technology to help with that, basically, so far. And we are not focusing on the technology. It's a kind of like a service type of thing that we are trying to do. So what we are doing, what we did so far, we started to see how we can help, where we start. We started for people above 65 years old, started going to the people, talk to them, pitching our ideas and all of those sort of things. It seems like it's probably too late for those people. They are too reluctant to receive any new ideas or any kind of sort of solutions or services related to that thing. And it's basically we are not getting anywhere about what the right product is, what the right service is. We know what the problem is. We cannot find basically the solution to that. Until kind of recently, through all the research and all the testing that we did, is basically we have to start earlier, and we have to start from the concept of independent aging. Like people don't buy like things like I want to buy fall prevention or whatever. People like to buy independence and independent aging, basically. They want to stay independent as long as possible. Even if they are sick, they can still stay independent. So that's the concept that we are going to the market for. But we found that, probably 65 years and older is not the right target audience for us. And anyone below 50 also is not the right audience for us, because, aging starts from 25 years old. So we stop growing at 25 and we start aging at 25, but we start noticing at 55, basically, because of the compounding effect of everything that is aged to that point. So what we are doing is basically we are focusing on the people on the 50s, and we are trying to develop an app for people to stay independent through the aging kind of journey. So we are going a little, upstream for that purpose. We are already have the prototype for a kind of a service that support people for emotional, brain health, emotional, memory health, physical health, and all of those things. A habit-making app that helps people to stay on that track of independent aging. And what we lack for right now is a third partner. So a third partner who is technical, it can be a product designer or it can be a kind of software engineer. But the main skills, the shining skill is basically the finding the right product market fit. So my co-founder and I are probably not the best people to go out and talk to people and pitch them. We can do that, but we need someone more skillful, more experienced in that kind of field work, and talking to people and be comfortable talking to people of those ages and also be passionate about that. And we are kind of ready to have them on board after the process that we want to make sure that we can work together. So it's hard to find that right person, but if someone is interested in that sort of topic, we can discuss more about it. Any questions? No interest in aging?
All right. Thank you. We have two more here. Yeah, we'll go with you, and then we'll come to you.
Hey, everybody. got a little demo here. Roll up and give you an explanation of what's going on. Just a okay. This is a pretty unassuming website. Kind of hacked this together, you know, in a day or 30 minutes or whatever. And so it's just got some, you know, menu items here. I was kind of hungry when I made this. So you hover over them. I hope you like the color scheme. You know, I don't know, thought that I was going on vibes with that. So yeah, gonna click this random button, hover over these, and then click me here. Okay, so now I'm brought to this kind of chat kind of deal. And so yeah, it is AI, what I'm kind of presenting here, demoing, and hopefully this loads. This is actually going to a 2070 Super in Liberty Hill, and yeah, doing some crunching. So what I got back is, this seems like a user interaction log with a mix of mouse clicks and keyboard presses. I don't know why I got the keyboard presses. But so just from that first sentence, I'll explain a bit more here. In what I was doing there, I was taking these kind of analytical kind of, you know, events, putting them into a Postgres database. And then when I clicked Click Me, I essentially grabbed all that. I turned it into logs. I kind of took all the data and made it into, like, you know, just this event clicked here at this time, made it sequential in a sense by using the date time kind of deal, and just kind of use those logs to present it to this LLM that I have, and then just kind of made the, I prompted it to be like, hey, you're a business analyst. Just look at these logs and tell me what you can kind of derive from it, or, you know, infer upon it. And so it gave me this little answer here for all that. Based on the logging, it appears to be the users interacting with the menu. And so I just, you know, trying to create a sort of like agent business analyst here. And, you know, I can actually talk to it a little bit too. What would be some events I could capture? So yeah, the idea is here. I call it tokens because it's a log. It's words, but ideally here you'd want to train the model to have these tokens in a sense, or tokenize these sort of data analytics here, and that's the idea. Is you essentially, in this case, it's very great. There's so much here that I can, like, so much space to cover in terms of, you know, what can be done, especially with just like a big, you know, if you look at like a company like Charter, because I worked at Charter, I worked at Spectrum, the TV company. I worked on their TV app for iOS or whatever for a little bit, but they do a lot of analytics there, and they've got a lot of just they're pouring in with all this stuff. So having some agent that can sort of like parse through this, and you can sort of talk to it and kind of gather the information, and you know, that's kind of the fundamental idea here in a sense, I guess. So there you go. Questions? Or you guys got it? Oh, what's up?
So you're tracking what someone does on a web page to then infer things about them.
Okay, actually what I'm trying to do here is, that's kind of the demo, but the idea is to take data that's already been tracked, or data that's already existing, turn it into something that's tokenized. I kind of, the demo here, I kind of was going to show you the logs and have you see it so it was human readable, but ideally it would be more like tokenized. It would be more inferred upon or embedded, so that it wouldn't, you know, it could be a little bit more optimized in a lot of ways there. But yeah, it would be turning that data, turning all the data that's been collected at a big company like that, and turning it into these logs that can kind of like let an LLM sort of give you feedback on it and have a discussion. If you are a business analyst, that might be more like intuitive on the data. Thank you. Oh, yes.
I can see it being really useful for like usability studies. If it's just basically scraping the browser data, basically, like I could imagine how can a user use this better, perhaps? How can you optimize your workflow for a certain web app? So
Yes. And really what I'm trying to do is think of it like a query language, like a SQL, but instead of giving you the sort of, you know, what do you call it? The items that are kind of coming back from that, they're logs. All that data just gets into tokens. But you know, like in this version, it's just logs. It's just like this user did this in this time, and so you can like have granulation. The idea is to have like a queryable kind of thing where you can, you know, group things together and you know, just have like a sort of like time sequence that could have like, because I think a lot of analytics are based on time sequences mostly, especially like at Charter. I remember having to like kind of go through a series of events to test something that works in the application for analytics. Yeah, so yeah, you're welcome. Anyone else? Awesome, thank you. I was gonna close this. I'm sorry, did the, okay. Thank you.
Hey guys, I get to be last. It's great to be here. 2025, can you believe it? You know, we made it. And it's really actually an exciting time to be alive, honestly. Imagine if you were alive at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution or the beginning of the internet, you know, and you got a chance to form that. And so that's what we're doing right now. And you're here right now in the Capital Factory. It's very exciting. So I am Kurt. I am the co-founder of Every LLM. It's actually Every AI, but we couldn't get that URL because someone else grabbed it. So we're Every LLM. And it's just like it sounds. You're going to get access to all the major LLMs, ChatGPT, Anthropic, Perplexity, all of them. We're also doing you probably heard about the open source drop of Sora and all those models. So we're running those. We're running Pyramid Flow right now. But one of the cool things, you hear a lot talk about agents. And when I say agent, what do you think? Like, what's an agent supposed to do, right? Like everything? Just like AI. When I say AI, it's like, oh, AI is going to do everything, you know? But the thing is you have to really kind of, I always think of like AI as like the ocean. The ocean can do a lot of cool stuff, the power of the water, but you have to kind of harness it and design it and engineer it to do that. And so my take on agents, our take on it as a company is that agents should be cheap. You can have 100 agents, but they should be simple. They should do just one thing and one thing very well. And a lot of you guys had so many cool things that you're building, and it's really exciting to see all the innovation and everything. And there's a lot of similarities with what our app does, but I'm not going to bore you with a demo. I am going to give you a free month to try it out. If you go to every-llm.com and just click on the subscribe thing. I literally just had my co-founder do that on the way here. I was like, we're charging everybody, you know? So I'm going to introduce you to my co-founder really quick. He has a YouTube channel here in Austin. It is Indigo Tech Tutorials. We're both in Austin, actually. We both live in the same house because he's my son. I taught him how to code a little bit when he was like 16. He started getting into it. He built this website. It's called Wave Clouds. I'm just bragging on my kid right now. Hold on. But we're both musicians. And so he had this issue where he was selling his music, and he didn't really want to have to haggle with the people, so he built this website, and he posts his song. It's actually the underground for the music community. You can post albums, all that stuff, but I'm just kind of sharing this with you so you'll know who we are. This is my son. He's the co-founder, and he's the one that just gave you guys free accounts if you sign up today. And he actually just did this great stream today. It was a 3-hour-long stream on training an AI model, and we used PG Vector for that. We used embeddings. We used the Olama. I think we used Olama to create the embeddings, yeah. So our service, basically, there's over 100 models that you can get on Olama, right? So on our app, you can say, hey, let's try one. Let's try another one. Let's try 3. Let's have them argue. Let's give them avatars. Let's give them personalities. Let's give them names. Stuff like that. And then you can say, I don't like the answers that Llama is giving me. Let's switch it out for ChatGPT. So it's totally agnostic for the platform that we're using. And for $20 a month, you get access to all of it unlimited. And we have APIs. So basically, you can call this on the API key. What I want from everybody, aside from you to have a great day and a great year, is to try this out. I'm really hoping I get 10 people that sign up. And I'm also looking for 3 people who have a business who want AI integrated into it, and we'll do it for free. We're both coders. My son and I, we do everything. We write it all. We're putting this stuff on Dell servers down the street in the co-location. So, you know, my vision is that, hey, if you're using a lot of compute, just we'll sell you a server and throw it on the rack, you know? This is private LLM stuff, so you can run your private business model on it. You can train it the way you want. You can delete your data. You can decide what's going to ChatGPT and what's staying in-house. You can call an agent like 500 times and then go to bed and wake up and it'll have written you a book with images and audio and cool stuff. So anyways, oh yeah. I don't know if you guys like music. I'm a musician. Here's my channel. What's that? Yeah, I'll just share you, because I figure you guys, like, it's my second time speaking here, and I didn't really get to share a lot of my personal stuff, but if you go to YouTube, it's Neuroplastic Jazz. And I don't even know if I can. N-E-U-R-O-P-L-A. There we go, jazz. So it's an @ symbol, and you're gonna see this fox. That's my avatar, that's me. So all these albums are mine, all these videos. I'm trying to make 1,000 original jazz instrumentals. I play all the instruments. This is what I do for my art therapy, like every day. So this is the output of it. And I don't put words in my songs because I'm just trying to create a vibe where, you know, you think your own words, I guess. So, all right, cool. Oh yeah, and I was on NPR, KUTX. You might have heard the interview recently. You can see it on my site. Anyways, cool. So I hope that 3 of you reach out to me and say, hey, I have a business, and I want you to integrate your AI, you know? And I hope 10 of you sign up. Have a good night. Oh, questions. Let's do questions. Yeah.
So you do agents and you like provide every large language model. Is there some reason why it's good to have both of those in this one platform? Like, do they have interoperability?
Well, so what I call an agent is different than what a lot of people call an agents, because agent's kind of just like a catchphrase, I guess. Like an agent can be whatever you want it to be, right? An agent can like do a lot of stuff or just one thing. And so on our app, agents just do one thing. And the idea is that you can slide them into a flow and organize them so that one of them creates a script, the next one draws a picture for the script, the next one maybe reads the audio for it, and then you can say, do that like 100 times. And then you can say, output that to a project, or output it to the chat. And then there's customizable passes. You can say, pass this to the next agent in line. And so agents on our app only do one thing. And it's to keep the hallucinations down, because if you give an LLM too many things, it'll just go nuts on you. Sometimes, yeah.
I feel like it's gonna be. I feel like the agent part is very compelling and interesting. I feel like you should like even double down on that, because like if you just at the beginning I thought you're just like offering multiple models, and then you have something like Open Router. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I'm not really familiar with a lot of the platforms. I've been just like head down working on this stuff.
There's a lot of tools that offer this like agnostic platform access,
Mm-hmm.
which is gonna be hard to compete. But agent stuff is the first time I heard it. So like that's
Bro, and flows, like putting agents in flows and saying, and so I've got a lot of opinions about how this stuff works and how flow should output and how you can have sections that are created and so you can sort the sections and a lot of user feedback loop. But, oh, I guess I should show you another thing. I have an AI news channel. You gotta see this on YouTube. All right, this one's funny. Because I was thinking of what random stuff I could do, you know what I mean? And I said, well, wouldn't it be funny to have a joke channel? Sock Puppet. I call it Sock Puppet News, all right? And don't make fun of me. It's not that bad. All right, it's 100% AI generated. I've got over 1,000 videos that I've made. Some of them when I was in Italy on the train, I just kept clicking. It was just fun. It's just AI is generating these episodes. How I get the data is I scrape. I will. So let's see. I just put these puppets in here so that they actually talk. I use Sora. I made this music. Play the keyboard.
Welcome to the Sock Puppet News Channel, your source for breaking news and bad jokes. Today's story. Avatar releases new tool to create AI-generated videos for products. More on this story from Professor Ploufling right after you like and subscribe.
Thanks, Singer. As the story reads here, video creation is costly, so companies can't make videos for everything. However, thanks to AI, the cost of video creation is getting lower, and you can generate clips in bulk. A key takeaway is Avatar's new tool, Velocity aims to reduce the cost of video creation by generating product videos directly from a product link, making high-quality videos more accessible to businesses.
Thanks for that, Professor. Makes me think of this takeaway. Our models understand different subcategories of products and attributes associated with them. Our tool would highlight different attributes of a hammer as compared to a smartphone.
You bring up a great point, sister. What stood out to me was when Ivan Mehta wrote Tum. Video is a proven driver of engagement and conversions, and scaling this efficiently is smart. However, there are already several companies addressing aspects of this space, like generating backgrounds, After Effects, product renders from different angles, cutouts, or photorealistic shadows. I couldn't help but wonder, while AI-generated video solutions have been available for some time, they often require manual intervention and can be challenging to maintain quality at scale. Avatar's tool addresses these challenges.
And it could go on, so I'm not going to belabor it, but essentially they tell jokes too. And it's 100% AI generated. Not maybe the best thing in the world, but it's the kind of stuff you can do when you just want to have fun with something. And so I was making a lot of random crap like that and seeing how these things would interact to each other. And I thought, I want to build a platform where a business guy can train an agent on his pizza place and then connect a phone app and say, chat with my agent, you know, and, or you can say, I want to write a book, and you can just like queue it up and then go to bed. Yeah.
So if you want to find companies faster, don't like explain the whole agent thing. Just say you're doing document drag, and they can ask about their documents. Like the #1 revenue generator now between AI companies is document drag. That's like easy entry, you can do it no problem, but like reverse it. Say we're gonna ask your documents questions and they're gonna answer and like teach you stuff. By the way, we're doing this with agents. And you're gonna find companies way faster.
Okay, thank you. We'll do that. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I'm here tonight is, bro, you're a brilliant guy, and I appreciate what you're saying. And everybody here, I want your feedback. I want your help with this, because, you know, hey, we're Austin, let's do this, you know, let's build an AI platform that is going to be around the globe. My vision for this is we're going to have literal servers across the globe. That's what I want to do. Like, rather than go for the giant data centers, you know, just go for small co-locations all over the world. That's my idea. So, anyways, question, yeah.
So for the ChatGPT and like, I imagine you have to like pay for tokens. How do you do like the pricing, right? Because like, let's say there's like a power user who uses this every day, like uses more than $20 worth.
Right. Yeah. No, we're gonna do it like for $20 you can use it, and if you're using the expensive stuff, then you'll kind of like, you know, it'll hit your HP down to it doesn't work, and then you can buy more if you want, basically. Cool. All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And then that's first 3 companies that come to you get for free.
What's that?
The first 3 companies that come to you will get your service for free.
If you want a free integration with your business and you're using AI in it, I mean, we want to get customers, so yeah.
Awesome. And then anyone signing up this month will get a free month.
Free month, yeah. It's already on the app, so just go there and sign
All right.
up. You know, we will have the iOS and the Android and stuff, all that, but right now it's going to be ugly and it's barely going to work. So let me know what you think.
All right, that's everyllm.com. So yeah, do check it out, and then give some feedback to the founder, and then also, Austin founders, Austin companies. So let's encourage them. All right, so this is I think we are anyway at 8:39, so we're running out of time. So before we wrap up, just a quick a show of hands. Who's here looking for a co-founder? All right, what are you looking in a co-founder? Product or business? CTO? Okay, there's a person looking for a CTO. Who's looking for, anyone else looking for co-founders? Nope. Is anyone looking for any marketing or sales help? What are you looking for? Sales. Marketing. So I know there's a few people that raised, marketing? Okay. So there's a few people that raised hands earlier in the meetup when I asked for expertise. So there's probably some marketing people or sales experts here. So yeah, if you can connect them with the marketing or sales people, that'll be great. Anyone looking for, what else is there? Marketing, sales, product, done. Accounting and financials. I'm sorry? Design? Yeah? Anyone looking for design help? Oh, okay, awesome. Anyone trying to offer help to others? I mean, yes, sir. AI and go-to-market. Awesome. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am. Web and graphic design. Awesome. Yes, sir. Fractional CFO. Awesome. Consultation on technology. All right. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Software engineering.
Software engineering. Awesome. So, all right. So, if you or anyone in your network has the need for any of these things, there's people that are here to offer help. Again, we all grow our businesses and grow our products. I mean, with able help from others. So connect those people to the people in your network, and then that'll be super helpful. So, with that said, I'm really thankful for all of you for coming out in the cold day today, and then you all have a wonderful rest of the night and enjoy your 2025 from here on. Awesome. And for those that are parking in the garage, there's parking validation there. All right, thank you all.